now you have to decide your niche, and this is the reason why always the first session is on niche, and thereafter we take the session on business planning, because the identification of the niche is your first step in your business planning process. So you decide on our niche. Immediately you start building your profile related to your niche. You go to your Facebook account, LinkedIn account, you change that, because now you are clear on the niche. So now everything you have to promote, everything you have to communicate with reference from your niche. When I say that everything means the coaching part. I'm not saying that if you are working in some organization and all that, of course, that information will remain same. But you as a coach, you need to communicate to the public through your niche. So this is your first step. You have to decide on your positioning and develop your personal brand. So the personal brand generally is a session which is which has to be completed before the business plan, but okay, it doesn't make a difference due to the 1 week, right? So no problem per se. So you have to develop your personal brand. Now, let me tell you some practical insights about the personal brand, because many people have the misconception about the personal branding. By putting quotes on LinkedIn, nothing happens. Many people are there who will put a leadership post, some kind of quote, right? And do you know why people like that? Just because they know you. Nobody is interested in your quotes, right? Google is there, na baba. In Google, I will type management quotes, leadership quotes, and any kind of quotes, psychology quotes. I will get thousands of the quotes, right? Am I coming to LinkedIn to see your quote? And I'm seeing all the MCC, PCC coaches also are doing all this so-called in inverted commas branding, wherein they do post like. It's all waste of time and energy, right? The personal branding is related to you developing your personal image in front of people. You developing your personal image in front of people. Do you know the most impactful medium for that? It is difficult, but I'm just telling you, right? The most impactful medium for that is other people talking about you. Not you. If you talk about yourself, that is not branding. You are selling yourself, and other people will take it as a selling. They are not going to change your opinion about you because you are talking, right? They are not going to do it. It's a common sense, but people don't understand it. When I say people don't understand it, many people, right? I'm not talking specifically about you. So you have to develop your image. It starts with your story building. It starts with your character building. It starts with how you now approach people. That has to be different. If you have done this particular training program for a certification, right, nothing is going to happen. You are going to fail as a coach, I'm telling you. But if you are evolving during this particular program, if your approach towards the world is changing, if the way you are looking at the things is changing, right, it will reflect. That is the beauty. That is the truth. The truth is you should change from within. If you are changing from within, automatically people will understand. You will develop your story. You will develop your character. You will develop your image. And you will be mindful about the communication. Because this is all information age, right? This is all internet age. Means you are developing yourself, but the people are not going to come to you, right? You have to approach people. So you have to facilitate a knowledge about you and what people are knowing about you. So this is a facilitation process which you have to do. For that, you will use social media. You will take part of conferences. You will take part of the webinars and the panel discussion. Why? Because in a single panel discussion, right, there are another 10 panelists, you know them. There are some 100 participants who know you. Like that, you develop your personal image, not by putting post on Facebook and LinkedIn. Nobody is interested in your post, right? And whatever some 10, 20, 50 likes you are getting, you will see more than 90% of those likes are from the people who already know you and who are not going to give you business. A third person, just show me your any post and tell me that, Heman, these are the 50 likes and out of which 40 are from outside. It is not possible. It is not possible. Right? So this is the problem. So you have to say, this is awareness. This is not a problem. This is just the knowledge. Now you know what I should do, where should I. That doesn't mean I am not asking you to put post on LinkedIn or Facebook. What kind of post? Are you offering some value? Are you making your post engaging? Are you interacting with the people through this particular post? There are a few people on LinkedIn who do a great job, right? So they are putting some interesting thought, and then they are engaging people. They are interacting with the people. They are asking their opinion, right? All that is happening on LinkedIn, right? So I am talking about that kind of post. Welcome. A post about the some kind of picture or the management course is a wastage of time, wastage of the reader time, and wastage of your time. So have your personal branding strategy that you are going to learn into the personal branding session what Ashwin will take, right? So this is the step 2. The step number 3 is create your signature system. I am not saying everyone must create it, right? Not possible. But if you are in a position to create your signature system, that will give you a competitive advantage. What Lakshmi was talking, and I think what Mrudu was asking to Alex, that is, okay, I want to become an emotional intelligence coach for youth. Noble thought, has a merit on it, but youth is not interested in the emotional intelligence word. So your positioning should not be concept oriented positioning. Your positioning should be the benefit oriented positioning. What is the benefit youth will get from the emotional intelligence? That is your positioning. If I am 18-year-old or 20-year-old and you are telling me that is okay, I am emotional intelligent, I will not come to you because my problems are totally different. My aspirations are totally different. Emotional intelligence is not even 100th in my list. But do I need emotional intelligence? Yes. Actually, emotional intelligence has to be in top 3. But is it? No, it is in not even in top 100. Why? Because I don't bother about emotional intelligence. I bother about my career. I bother about my girlfriend. I bother about my fights with my parents. I bother about my friend circle. He has a better car or bike, and there is a problem in my model. I have a totally different kinds of problem, right? I have totally different kinds of desire. Now, if you want to connect with me, will you connect with me? Means, for example, if I go to the youth and if I tell them, boss, and emotional intelligence, neuroscience, and positive psychology and spiritual intelligence coach, they will say, okay, I want this particular person to go away as early as possible, because they are not looking at this. So you will identify needs of your target customer. The idea is good. There is a great potential in becoming an emotional intelligence coach for youth, but your positioning cannot be that. Why? Because your target customer will not resonate with your position. Your target customer's life is different, needs are different, wants are different. So what is that my target customer is bothered about? That once you know, then you reposition yourself. You will use emotional intelligence coaching, but that is your internal mechanism. You will use the coaching process triangle. That is your internal mechanism, right? You are not going to tell that. So that is wisdom. In your signature system, if you tell their parents, because most probably means in this particular example of youth, most probably parents are the stakeholders and they are going to offer you money. If you tell their parent that is not only that I will coach your boy or girl for whatever you want or whatever that goal is, apart from that, I will develop your ward for these three aspects. Your ward will have 10 times better, really, don't go by my words and all that, 10 times and all that, but just I'm telling you, right? 10 times better relationship with the parents. Now parent will say, oh my God, that is what I want. Okay. Your ward will be XYZ. He will be more disciplined and blah, 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 right? Now that is what the state. Now you are not going to tell them, okay, there is a Daniel Goleman model. I will increase the self-awareness, self-management. Oh, this is all English. They are not going to understand that. So what is that parent is looking for a change in their boy? What is the parent's expectation from their boy? And what is that boy's need? If you devise a signature system and if you tell them, if you go to any other coach or counselor, they are going to address the problem and they are going to solve the problem. But I am going to not only address the problem or the achievement of the goal, but I am going to give you these three particular benefits because of my signature system. That is what people are looking for.
I have only one question, if I may ask you. Should we in the beginning under promise, over deliver, over promise, and then wait for the delivery? Sometimes if we hide the things and if we don't deliver, will that be causing problem?
Yeah. So basically, this is a very subjective question.
I understand.
Yeah, the question has a merit in it. I am understanding what you're, but this is very subjective. It depends on case to case, right? And you also know it. When you ask this question, you are knowing that you are entering into a subjective area, right? Now, there are different thought processes. Do you know my thought process? It is different, right? This is the reason I am not common. What is my thought process? Whatever I want to achieve, I first declare. I just declare to the society, to my family, to my friends. Because I declare that, now I have a positive social pressure on me. How people are looking at me. Okay, Hemant has told that he will become coach and falana dhakana and all that. Now they are, okay, they are not asking me. But always people observe you. Huh? So you must have learned it in behavioral intelligence. Always people observe you. Now that is the mechanism I use. Yeah, this is the point one. But there are some people who do not first tell people, who do then tell. Fantastic. Very good. That method also works. My method also works. My method works for me. For someone else, my method will not work. Why? Because that someone else may not handle the social pressure.
Absolutely correct.
I don't bother about society. Even if I fail and the people will say Hemant is not good. Anyway, my image about myself is not dependent on them. I am just utilizing their pressure for my benefit. But I am not bothered about their pressure. That is my psyche. But if your psyche is different, if you are getting bothered about the social pressure, then of course you should not use my technique. Then you should first do and then declare. So this is the first angle. The second angle is about the over promise. Of course, there is a very thin line between the over promise and between a positive thinking. When you take a coaching assignment, will you take a coaching assignment considering that you will fail? No. You will take a coaching assignment, means you have 60 years of life experience and more than 35 years of service, and now you have done this international program and you do have the required wisdom. And if there is any coaching assignment, there is no need for you to be doubtful. And if that person will ask you, will
I'll do it.
Yeah. So will I get 100% result? Now, Will your analytical mind come out and say, wait, I think you will get 92% of the result. There is a 8% of the probability. Why you have to talk like that? Yes, you will get 100%. You also don't know, that person also don't know. You are yet to start your association. Now, whether this 100% was overpromise or not, I don't know. But is it right to start with that particular understanding that 100% the coach is going to get the, in my opinion, yes. Right? See, in this particular world, if you will not promote yourself, other people are number one. Nobody is bothered about you. Nobody is thinking about Asit. Nobody other than your spouse. And if your child, if they are dependent on you, otherwise they also don't think about you. So this is the life, right? So unless you communicate and market yourself, how people will come to you? Otherwise, you are not into their life. You are not into their equation, right?
Yes.
So this is the reality of the life. You must communicate, and you need to communicate with a positive intent. Now, whether that positive intent is a overpromise or not, that only time will tell, right? But
Yeah.
why you are forecasting negatively? That is, there is a probability of 8% failure. Why you are starting with that particular note, right? So
Okay,
again, the
got it.
overpromise or underpromise, it depends on you. It depends on your thought process. In my opinion, every person is divine. We are all part of the universal divine consciousness. So neither you should be pessimistic about the other person nor about you. You should be optimistic. And if in that particular optimism, if you communicate that optimism to the other person, I don't think it is a overpromise.
Very
Now,
well
this is my thought
articulated.
process.
No, very well articulated. I
Yeah,
absolutely agree with you.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. You should also, if possible, have your own methodology. I'm not asking you to tamper with the coaching process. Huh? Coaching process is sacrosanct. Do not go with this kind of models and all that. They grow, fro, steppa, peppa, nothing. Coaching process, establish connection, agree on the outcomes, evoke awareness, plan actions, and monitor actions. Full stop. That is the coaching process. In that, all these particular models and all this marketing, nothing wrong in it. Huh? People have earned great amount of money. I have invented grow model. I have invented ABCD model. Fantastic. Good. No problem. If you also want to use that as a marketing tool, I don't have any concern. But you have to always follow the coaching process. That is the real methodology. Within that, if you say that is okay, I am doing this, which no one is doing. Now, I will give you other than coaching example purposefully, because the coaching example, you have to come, right? There is no point in I giving the ideas. So you have to come up with your own creative ideas on the methodology. So my sister's son had a problem in this portion of the back. I think that portion I'm forgetting that name. I think it is called a stapula or something like that, right? So I was, of course, not moving because for me this is back and these are some bones and all that. So I never bothered about that kind of vocabulary. And she called me. I said, okay, I know this hospital in Sancheti because in Pune, if somebody is from Pune, means from the childhood, I was only knowing the Sancheti, which is the experts in the orthopedics. And that is my vocabulary. Anything related to the bones and all that is called as orthopedics. So I know, yeah, I know the specialist in orthopedics and all that. Come down to Pune. Then she came to Pune and then we inquire. Then we understood that Sancheti is not having the specialization that in stapula and fibula, right? Then we came to the Dinanath Mangeshkar Hospital. In the Dinanath Mangeshkar Hospital, there is a doctor who is only specialized in this portion of the back, not entire back. If you say, doctor, I am having a lower back problem, you will say, okay, this is a XYZ doctor, you go to that particular person. He only takes care of that part of human body. Can you imagine this? This is called a super specialization. Now, once that doctor told us that is okay, he is this specialist of the stapula or fibula, We can't ask any question because now the authority is established. In Pune, he is the person who only deals with that. Now, automatic the trust and the respect because of the super special. So this is the beauty of the niche. Understand, the niche is not to constrain you. Niche is actually to increase your business. Now, I and my sister never asked any question. Of course, he was, of course, good. Now, what he has done, so the specialization is not only my point. My point is methodology. What he has done, he has patented one system of physiotherapy. How he has patented means he must be lucky, because in India getting patent and all that is very difficult, and that to a process like a physiotherapy, because physiotherapy is a very different thing, right? Physiotherapy means exercises and all that, but he has patented within that something. And then my sister said, oh, but I can't come here. I have to do the online physiotherapy, means the doctor will explain from screen and my son will do exercise from Mumbai. He said, no, it is patented. We can't show it to on camera. So you must come here. So my sister stayed 3 months here and then completed that thing, right? So now see, because of his methodology, now he has created a niche as well as a specific patented methodology. Now his customer base is confirmed. Nobody will go outside, right? So these are the benefits. Once you have a specialization and once you have some differentiated methodology, which offers, of course, value, and which wherein you communicate the benefit of that methodology. Otherwise, only methodology is not useful. You have to communicate, you have to offer some value and benefit from that particular methodology. So what is that methodology? That is what is going to make you success, right? So you have to create your signature system. You can offer a advantage of improvement of emotional intelligence, but in a customer language, not emotional intelligence. People don't know the spelling of emotional intelligence. Huh? You have to take it at a simple level. You have to take it at your target customer level. You can use methodology of NLP. You can use positive psychology. You can use neuroscience, right? You can use something wherein you can tell, okay, this is with me. This is not with many people. Like MasterMyLife says, who am I program is only in my program. In the world, it is nowhere. The business part of the coaching is maybe only 5% of the people in the world are doing. MasterMyLife is one. So now what I am doing, I am creating my niche. I am creating a competitive advantage, that this is the value only I am offering. Kocharya, no. Ericsson, no. Symbiosis, no. No. And actually, no. Right? Actually, no. Only MasterMyLife is offering. That is the called as a. So who am I? Part is a signature system of MasterMyLife's coach training program. The methodology is what we are creating, like this particular coaching consortium and all that, now are going to become the specialized methodology of the MasterMyLife. So in that way, you have to think in create something which your customer thinks of more valuable and which your competitors are not offering. And also it is difficult for competitors to offer that. Then only it is sustainable, right? Means tomorrow, if I do something which is very easy for my competitor to do it, maybe I will enjoy for 1 year, and after 1 year, my advantage will go. So always your competitive advantage has to be sustainable. So what you have to do? You have to make the entire system as your advantage, not a single product or service. You have to create a ecosystem, and the ecosystem has to give advantage. So you have a signature system plus signature methodology. Now that is, as you club things, it is difficult for anyone to copy that. But if you have only single thing, I use a grow model, other person will say, okay, I also use grow model. So your advantage will be diminished immediately. But if you say, I use grow model, in that I improve your emotional intelligence, and but you will communicate in a different way. Also, I do this. Also, I provide you this support. Now, okay, the 4 points. Now, the 4 points will make a combo effect. That is called as the positioning. Do not position yourself on a single point. because the single point competitors will copy. If you position yourself with an ecosystem of few points combined and you position yourself accordingly, then it is more sustainable. I'm not saying it is forever sustainable, but definitely it is more sustainable. And you cannot communicate English, you cannot communicate literature, you cannot communicate idea, you cannot communicate philosophy. You have to communicate product and service with the benefit. Simple. So unless you have a unique product and the service to offer, you cannot tell people, I have become PCC coach and now I'm ready to coach. Who is asking you to become a coach? Right? Are we waiting for you to become a coach? And because of that, you are putting this particular message on LinkedIn. Now I'm a coach and I'm offering. Are Baba, there are so many coaches. No, nobody is bothered. So that is a wrong communication. Right? That is just a hopeful communication. Useless communication. So what you have to say, this is my product and the service offering this benefit to you. So the people who are interested in this particular benefit can approach you. First 10 customers pro bono. Now people will say, okay, this benefit I'm interested. Also, there is an opportunity if I respond immediately, it's a pro bono offer. Now people will communicate. So understand, to develop unique products and the services and communicate them uniquely. Do not go for a hopeful thinking that the world is waiting for you. No one is waiting for you, right? You have to create your value and you have to communicate your value. Then only there is a probability that people will come back to you. Probability, no guarantee, because it also depends on your communication design and is your value really the value what you think is value. So for that, your understanding of the target market and the problem and your unique solution is the key. The first 3 steps are key in the business planning process. And this is why you have to make a business plan, because if you don't make a business plan, there is no question that your communication will be right. Your communication will go haywire and all your energy will go wasted. But you know, okay, this is my target customer, this is the problem, this is the solution, this is my business model, and this is the competitive advantage. Now in your communication, you will always focus on your competitive advantage, right? So your communication will become specific. So this is the point number 4. You have to invest into the social media paid. Okay. I'm especially talking about the paid campaign. Once you have this clarity, otherwise again, you will waste money because you don't have a tangible product or a tangible service. Don't say that only coaching is a tangible product and service. Coaching is a methodology. People are not going to the doctor because that person is doctor and they love doctory. People going to the doctor because they are facing a problem or ailment and they want to solve that particular, or they want to get cure, right? So their relationship with the doctor is for the problem and the solution. Otherwise, whether that person is doctor or whether that person is someone else, they are not bothered, right? Like that in coaching also. You are a coach and you are offering your coaching services. Nobody is interested, right? What is the value you are going to offer? How different it is from the other? And is it directly related to me? Whether I am finding it valuable or not, whether you are offering something special to me or not, then people are going to approach you. And that you communicate through your social media marketing. Not that you are a coach and not that this is my company, this is my vision and mission. Who is bothered about your company and your vision and mission? So how you have to do? So in the social media, you will create your sales funnel. And from that particular sales funnel, you will nurture them. So it is like Bhagavad Gita. Process is where you have to focus on. The result is a fruit of the process. It is not that result is not important, right? Because I must have covered it in Who Am I as well, right? Sri Krishna never said that the result is not important. Sri Krishna was a very smart fellow, right? Result is very, 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 very important. For the result, we are designing the process. Once you design the process, you do not think about the result, only focus on the process. Because if you keep thinking about result, your attention gets diverted. You become anxious, you become worried. That is the reason why you should not think about the result. That does not mean that result is immaterial and I am some kind of sadhu santa who is only doing the work without. No, 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 no. So that is not the question. Like that, I am not saying that the conversion is not important. Ultimately, the customer has to buy your product and service, but how you nurture that sales funnel is process. So you focus on whenever any inquiry comes to you or in your sales funnel, which you will understand in your social media. Have you completed your social media classes, 2 sessions of social media? No. So there is a time. So in social media, you will understand this. Once people will come to your sales funnel, you need to keep nurturing them with the things which they value, with the articles what they value, with some kind of products, services, webinars, this, that, so that nurturing will establish connection. So what is your focus? Your focus is on, not on sales. Because if your focus is on sales, people will understand it. People will understand, aha, this is the reason. Real connection will never get established in a commercial relationship only. Only is the important point. People understand that there is a commercial relationship. There is nothing wrong in having a commercial, but the relationship only should not be related to the selling your product and service. Relationship should be more than that. Relationship or the communication design or the marketing should be related to you establishing connection. And once you establish the connection and the nurture your potential clients, few of the clients will automatically buy your service. Automatically with the asterisk. And now I will explain that asterisk. There is only one condition to that particular automatic sales process. And that condition is you should not complicate the sales process. And this is the basics of sales. Basic of sales is when customers say, okay, I want to buy your coaching service. Now, Asit will say, wait, you want to buy? But first we have to sign 2-page agreement. Second, I will give you 3 tests that you have to solve. I will see your behavior profile, life purpose. I will take your coachability test. Then third step, I will give you a Google form. That Google form you have to fill. Right? Now, you are going totally wrong. It is not that you are not going to do it. You are going to do it anyway. But once the customer says, okay, I am ready to buy the service, you should stop talking. Okay, close the sales. This is called a sales closing. Close the sales. Okay, you want to buy the service? Okay, fine. From when we will start our first session, right? And price and advance. This is called a sales closing. Unless there is a commercial exchange. Why? Because you are in business. If there is no commercial exchange, there is a barter trade, then there is a barter. I will give you wheat and you have to give me rice. Unless that exchange happens, sales is not closed. Right? So you have to close the sales. Between sales closing and between you start offering the product and service, there is a gap, right? There is a gap of 1 week, 10 days. Within that 1 week, 10 days, Google form, Toggle form, everything you do. But do not complicate the sales closing process. Sales closing means only sales closing, nothing else, no discussion. No ABCD, sales closing, finish, close. After that, you go for the step by step. So this is the only asterisk. Otherwise, sales closing is automatic if you are taking care of the connection and the process. So this is what I am talking about in the connection and the conversion strategy. So conversion has to be automatic. Always remember, never go for conversion. Conversion has to be the automatic result of your connection and nurturing. This is the, I can say the, what is that? Platinum rule of marketing. Do not aim closing the sales. Aim at nurturing the customer and seeing that the customer has a trust rapport and customer understands everything and customer gets 100% idea of the value what you are offering, which is the best in the market. That is what you are focused on. Once you do it, sales will be closed. Not 100% of the people. There will be always the statistics is God. Only certain percentage of the customers get converted in spite of you following everything same with the all the customers. So that percentage is automatic percentage. Balance is anyway not your customer. So the automatic word is not applicable to them. Automatic word is applicable to this statistic probability that, okay, if you nurture 100 customers, 10 will buy service from you. I'm talking about that 10, the sales is automatic, provided you do not complicate the sales at the time of closing. Make it easy for the client to say yes. Once you understand, okay, now the client is convinced, do not complicate. See, do you know the problem with the intelligent people? We have the baggage, right? We don't know where to stop, right? If the person is ready now, but we say, but wait, I want to give you more information. Arre Baba, why more information now? That person is telling yes. So now you make that particular process easy. But the problem with many experienced and especially intellectual people is that they want to impress other person. Right? This is a disease. You don't have to impress other person, right? You are not a politician, right? Okay, but people should get impressed on me and go have a blind faith on me and should vote for me, right? You have to develop trust and rapport, not impress other person, right? Because if you talk too much and if you try to impress too much, you are going to spoil the thing. That person will think, okay, this is too high fundu person. I think difficult. I will go for someone who is at my level, who will understand me. This is too intellectual, too intelligent person. Always remember, anything excess is bad. So make it easy for people to say yes to you. Think from their angle. Do not try to impress with them. Just connect with them. And connection is not about impressing each other. Connection is about understanding each other, empathizing with each other. So that is the way a coach has to do a marketing. Okay, there can be some marketing of some other products which people are doing in other way and they are successful. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about marketing of a coach. And all this will be successful and sustainable provided you are offering value. You are really transforming the coaching. You are really generating the results. I'm not saying giving the results because coaching is a partnership. You are generating the results. If you are in a position to do it, automatically it is going to. So you should not worry about sustainability. You should worry about value. If you are, for example, if my program is offering value to you, you will automatically talk good about the program. I should not incentivize you or I should not request you. Now your program is complete. Now you talk good and all that. No, no, no. I have to offer you such a value that you do not have any other option but to talk good. And in spite of that, if you are not talking good, then anyway, you are not the right student or a right referral anyway. Right? So, chit bhi meri, pat bhi mera. Why? Because thought process is clear. If it is a true love, that person is going to come back to you. But if it is not a true love, then there is no, then why you want that particular person to come back, right? So then the need of coming back is also not there because it is not a true love. So this is the game. So the game is, if the person has to be with you, has to be with you. But this game is played when you are offering value. Then you can say that since I have offered 100% value without any compromise, now the process of the referral has to be byproduct. That is what you have to do. In coaching, right, you can get few clients with this entire process. Huh? With this entire process, you will definitely get few clients if you follow this process. But if you have to continuously get clients, it is not this only process which will help you. Referrals will help you. Word of mouth will help you. Why? Because when real branding, now I go to the real branding, what I was talking at the start of this particular slide. Real branding is not you marketing yourself. Real branding is other people talking about you. When the coachee will talk about you, oh my God, we went to Asit, we went to Lakshmi, and this is the benefit. And they are putting with the post on social media. Oh, that is real branding. Now your business is sustainable, absolutely sustainable. Of course, you will keep doing this. Huh? You will keep doing this. This is a cycle. You will keep doing this cycle, right? You will keep new and new people will come into the funnel. You will connect with them. Few percentage of them will convert, right? Out of that, maybe 50% of people will give, but 50% is actually on a lower side in coaching. In coaching, practically 90% of the people have to give you referrals because that is the power of coaching. In coaching, the person has to get benefit. There is no other option. It is not possible that person is not getting benefit unless you are moron. If you are mentally fit person, because that is the beauty of the process. That is the beauty of the process. Person has to get benefit. There is no other option. Okay, depending upon the person to person, the benefit will vary. But it is not possible that the person has went to the coach, right? मतलब वो आदमी इसमें जाता है ना, जेल में जाता है. Good person went to the jail, and because of the jail atmosphere, when he came back, he was a terrorist, right? So in coaching, when a person will come to the coaching, he has to go as a little bit better person and little bit more competent person, right, than he when he came to you. So this is the beauty of the coaching. So have that particular faith, right? If you have that particular faith, then only you will deliver. If you yourself means, for example, you are an opening batsman and there is a Shoaib Akhtar and you are not confident and you are shivering, of course he is going to bowl you because he also will understand that you are not confident. But if you are confident, right, finish. So this is not being say too optimistic or something like that. This is a fact. As a coach, you have to be confident because you have one of the best andragogies with you. You have one of the best wisdoms and knowledge with you about the human psychology, about the way people change, about the way people learn. You know it, right? So you already are a wise person. Now only you have to utilize your wisdom and you have to add value to the person's life, and that person has to give you referrals to the word of mouth. Your 80% of the business has to come from referrals and the word of mouth. This is the ratio. Long run, not from the start, of course. Right? In a long run, the day your 80% of the clients are coming from the reference from your existing client, your business is successful and your business is sustainable. Once you are in a position to be successful in your target segment, you have to diversify within your target segment. The diversification can be with the additional product and services, can be with the group coaching, can be with the training, can be with the counseling, can be with the mentoring, can be with the therapy if you are therapist already, right? So you have to utilize the target segment. This is the marketing. So I'm a marketing professional. For your information, I became coach later. Marketing is from a existing customer, you have to get maximum business. And existing customer is not an individual. Existing customer, I'm talking about a segment. So when you are already spending money into the marketing and branding to the segment, you will see what more that particular target segment needs, and you will continue adding the product and the services for that target segment because it is more economical and profitable to develop business with the existing customer. To develop business with the new customer is always expensive, right? First you do that. What is that? That is called as a related diversification. So you do a related diversification in the same segment, and then you become successful in the related diversification. Then what you do? You go for unrelated diversification. You offer a different product and service to the see. First, you offer a similar product and service. What is the similar product and service? Coaching, counseling, training is all similar product and service. It is all related to your personal development and all that, right? This is called as related diversification. What is unrelated diversification? In your segment, there is a need of some appliance, or there is a need of some other service which is not related to the personal development or the teaching or the coaching and all that, but they need something more, right? They need supply of the books, right? They need some kind of different service. You go for that. Why? This is how you manage the risk of the business in a long term, right? So you go for unrelated diversification within the same segment. Now you are successful in that also. Now you go for unrelated diversification to a different segment. You do not become dependent only on a single segment. Why? Because there is a risk. Tomorrow something will happen to that segment. Tomorrow some different service will go into that segment. That means you are keeping all your eggs in one basket. So you distribute your risk by adding product and services to a different segment as well. This is how you have to make your business plan, and this is how you have to think. Why you have to think like this? Because if you are going to think like this, your brain will absorb some related and unrelated diversification opportunities also. But if you are not thinking in that direction, then your brain will filter all these particular signals from the environment, and you will never come to know about those opportunities. So you have to always see, a chess player thinks about the end game at the start itself. So if I am playing a king pawn opening, means my focus is on the king side. If I am going for a French opening, or I am going for a queen pawn opening, means I am focusing on the queen side. So in a end game, my pawn structure of that particular side has to be stronger. So my pawn should not get double in that particular segment. So see, the opening move decides the structure of the end game. So the way you prepare the business plan and way you think at the start decide your end game, which is a related diversification, unrelated diversification. So this is how you as an entrepreneur should think. A coach is an entrepreneur. Coach is not an employee. You are going to do on your own. Of course, you can take some, revenue sharing from the MasterMyLife, or you can work within your organization as an internal coach. A coach can also be an employee, right? But in majority of the cases, you are going to start your own independent practice. If you are going to start your independent practice, you are all entrepreneurs, and you have to start thinking like an entrepreneur, in spite of the fact that most of the years of your life you have been working for someone else. Now is a time you start working for yourself. When you start working for yourself, parallelly you can have a job. Parallelly, you can have some other things, but I really want you to be on your own as far as your coaching practice is concerned. So this is what the entire game of becoming a competent and successful coach is. Competent part, we are already taking care in our program. Believe me, being competent is comparative. Now I am making one statement, and that statement is, you are already more competent than any other PCC coach trained by any other institute in the market already. So the competent, okay, are you perfectly competent? No. Is there a gap? Yes. Right? For example, you have to win a race, right? Your competitor in a 100-meter race, he is completing in 13 seconds. You have to complete in 12.5 seconds. That's it. You don't have to compete with world record of 10 seconds, right? So you have to compete with your competitor. So I am telling you, I am making one very confident and truthful statement that you are more competent concept-wise, knowledge-wise than any other PCC level trained coach in the market. So the comparatively, you are more competent than. Now the job is to make you successful. And this particular slide is going to make you successful if you act on this particular slide, right?